Hello to all of you Foxborough faithful. You are now locked into the Locked On Patriots podcast. It is Monday, February 28th. It is the YouTube debut of Locked On Patriots. And who better to welcome today to help us usher in a new era here on the pod than the only guest with his very own branded hashtag. That's right, the legendary Thomas Murphy of E2Gsports.com joins me here today as we muse the draft and also discuss the 2022 Scouting Combine right here on the Locked On Patriots podcast. My name is Mike Debate, and you are about to be locked into the Locked On Patriots podcast, your daily home for news, notes, and analysis, infused with the occasional opinion on your six-time Super Bowl champions, the New England Patriots. And once again, thank you everyone for making Locked On Patriots your first listen every day. Remember, Locked On Patriots is always free and available on all platforms. And of course, we appreciate you subscribing to Locked On Patriots, now available on YouTube. Folks, it is Monday, and we are so happy to welcome the Green Man himself, the legendary Thomas Murphy, as he joins me here today to muse the draft. The 2022 NFL Draft is coming up in a couple of months, but the NFL Scouting Combine begins this week, March 1st, tomorrow on Tuesday. And of course, there's always a lot to talk about. Who are the Patriots going to keep their sharp eye on? Will they go offense or defense in the first round? What late round gems are they hoping to scout? The New England Patriots always take the combine seriously. And don't let all of those errands. And don't forget, Patriots fans, even though the 2022 NFL Draft is a couple of months away, what is also a couple of months past now is the start of 2022. Can you believe it? Already 2 months in. And I know New Year's resolutions are probably a thing of the past for most of us. At least they are for me. Except one, trying to eat a little bit healthier. Thanks to our good friends at Built Bar, you can do just that. Because Built Bar is the delicious protein bar that tastes like a candy bar. Look at the stats on Built Bar. Most of these bars are averaging 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. Compare that to a candy bar, which usually has about 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, a dozen net carbs. You definitely want to take advantage of the great product that Built Bar puts out. All the great flavors are still there. Mint brownie, coconut, coconut almond, and of course, new for this month, white chocolate cookies and cream. They're all delicious. There are new flavors coming out all the time. If they think a flavor might be good, they'll make it, and it will be delicious, and it's going to be good for you. At Built Bar, they're all about the taste. They make it taste delicious first, and then figure out how to make it healthy. I know, what a concept, but it works. I don't know how they do it. They pull it off every single time. So today, go to Built.com and use the promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off your next order. Don't forget, visit Built.com, use the promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off. Visit Built.com. Patriots fans, once again, we are live and in living color coming at you visually today for the first time in Locked On Patriots history. Once again, Locked On Patriots is free and available on all platforms, but once again, now we come to you through the illustrious video capabilities of YouTube. And folks, who else could inaugurate the first video appearance of YouTube than the only guest on this show, past, present, and future, that has his very own branded hashtag. That's right, folks. It is Mock Draft Monday. It is debut of YouTube Monday. But most importantly, we all know it is hashtag Locked On Murph Monday. And as you can see, my good buddy is right here to help inaugurate this landmark show in the history of Locked On Patriots. He is the Count of Murphy Fisto himself. The legendary Thomas Murphy joins me here for his weekly appearance on Locked On Patriots. Thank you for coming to me in friendship. Thank you for joining me today, Don Murph.
Oh, my pleasure, Mike. My pleasure. And I want to send our apologies out to all the people that are watching right now. You now know that yes, at least I do have a face for radio, but glad Mike's here with that amazing hairline to bring it all home for us.
Well, I try. One of the few things that I was blessed with physically, so I'll count my blessings there. But yeah, definitely, I think you can see that we're probably better suited for radio, but at the same time, folks, we are contractually obligated to do this. No, kidding. I'm kidding. It is great to be here on YouTube inaugurating this. And Murph, I couldn't think of a better way to inaugurate this than to share this moment with you, my friend.
I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. And you know, it's Mock Draft Monday. It is hashtag Locked On Murph Monday. all of that going on. So the combine begins technically today, March 1st, Monday. Players start interviewing. A lot of media is going to be there, and a lot of people are going to be really, I think, glued to this year's combine. First time we're seeing it in quite a while, and it's always an interesting time. Always an interesting time for not only Patriots fans, but also NFL fans all over the country that are really excited to see this and to see some of their favorite draft prospects and where they might fall when it comes to the 2022 NFL season. So you always see things, my friend, the way us mere mortals don't. I know you've got your sharp eye fixated on several NFL-ready prospects that we'll be working out over the course of the next couple of days. So without further ado, Bud, I'm going to give you the command. Who do you have your eye on in Indianapolis this week? Who are you going to be looking closely at, and who should the Patriots be looking closely at? That's the more important question.
Well, of course, everybody wants the how should we say it, the glamour guys, the wide receivers, the linebackers, people of that ilk. But cornerback is just so important, and not knowing what we are going up against with JC Jackson coming into that, I'm really focusing this week on cornerback, and Kyler Gordon is my man in the first round. I've said a couple of times before that I'm really in on Nakobe Dean. There are just other guys around in later rounds that could probably bring that, but in the first round, I wouldn't be upset about that. Nakobe coming here, I think he's a game changer. I think he's somebody that the Patriots could use, and I wouldn't be shocked if Bill went the linebacker way. I know some other people are talking about other names, but Nakobe Dean's my guy there. And at the cornerback position, I would love to see Kyler Gordon.
Yeah, we talked about Nakobe Dean last week, and again, I agree with you. That RPO erasing technique that he brings to the table just would look so good in a New England Patriots defense. I know he's not the prototypical guy that Bill usually brings in, and I know our good friend Steve Balestrieri has said that several times. I think Steve makes an excellent point, but at the same time, the job that he does and the ability that he has in the field to be able to make those plays would just make him look so good in this Bill Belichick defense. I love Dean, and I think he's one of the guys that I will be watching closely as well. You did mention the cornerback position, and I think that is a smart move, considering what we're hearing out of Patriots camp right now. Murph, unfortunately, it's just not too positive when it comes to J.C. Jackson. Now, Miguel joined me here. Miguel Benzon, the Pats cap himself, joined me on Friday, and we talked a lot about a potential deal that the Patriots could offer JC, and that he could be able to take it. I mean, there is a lot there in terms of being able to make this done, or get this to be a done deal. And Miguel even outlined a very, very good scenario where the Patriots could sign him to a pretty substantial deal and not necessarily break the bank when it comes to everything else. So I think at this point, this is a good opportunity for the New England Patriots to really look at all of their options. And I think Gordon is definitely someone that they will keep their eye on, and I'm looking forward to it myself in terms of how this is going to play out with the Pats and everything that they can do there. With regard to the linebacker position, I know you mentioned that as a marquee position. And our good friends over at thedraftnetwork.com actually do have a little bit of input when it comes to some of our content here on Mock Draft Monday. No, all kidding aside, we pull off of the Draft Network because simply they're one of the best around at what they do. And this week, mock draft that was put out by the Draft Network had the Patriots going linebacker at number 21. Have them taking, at this point, 50-year senior out of the Pac-12 of Utah, linebacker Devin Lloyd. Devin is definitely a guy that I've had my eye on for quite some time. There's no question about it. Love the athleticism, love the quickness. He has the ability to get after the passer. He can drop back, be able to defend the runner. I love the toughness and the tenacity and the versatility that he can play with. The problem I have with this pick, Murph, is that I just don't think he's going to be there at number 21. Yeah. And that amazes me that so many people keep mocking him to the Patriots at number 21. I agree with him being one of the best players at this position, and I think a lot of people are giving him his just due. I agree with it. He would fit well into the New England Patriots system, although, if I'm being honest, I think he fits much better into the 4-3 scheme than the 3-4 that the Patriots do have a penchant to play. They have gone 4-3 before for the right player. I don't know if they do it for a rookie, but when you look at Lloyd, and this is one thing that I think we talked a little bit about last week, you know, going with someone like a Nakobe Dean over a Devin Lloyd may surprise some people, but I think this is why we're like-minded on that. Do you agree with me that Lloyd may not be there at number 21, or is this a situation where if he's there, the Patriots just can't afford to pass him up?
Yeah, whoever's running these mock drafts, I really wish would get some jobs in the NFL, because for him to fall this far for the Patriots, the Pats would have to trade up at least 8 or 10 spots
Mm-hmm.
to have any kind of a chance to get Lloyd. He is that good. He is I don't want to call a generational player, but he's
Mm-hmm.
definitely the most athletic and one of the best linebackers that I've seen in quite a long time. He's just not going to be there, Michael. He's just not going to
Yeah.
be there. But it's fantastic analysis. If he's there and the Patriots end up passing on him, I will throw a very large television out a window.
You know what? Just for that, just for the entertainment value on that alone, my friend, I say we do it. I say we do it. I'd love to see Murph throw a TV through the window. Anybody who wants to do that, drop us a line at LO_Patriots. Tell us, just hashtag Murph TV. We'll know exactly what you mean. Or I shouldn't say that, because Murph TV can be anything. The guy should have his own television station, as far as I'm concerned. I'd be watching it 24 hours a day just for the entertainment and the content alone. But all kidding aside, I think the combine does give us the opportunity, Bud, to really take a look at what's out there, what players are available, and what the Patriots might be thinking in terms of the draft. And I think a lot of people look to the combine to say, okay, well, these are the names that we're hearing coming out of Foxborough. These are the types of names and the types of players and people that the New England Patriots might be looking at. On the offensive side of the ball, is there anybody that stands out? If the Patriots do go offense in this draft, is there anybody that you look at where you say that's a can't miss prospect? They have to take advantage of it if he's there at number 21.
Yeah, Chris Olave, we've talked about him before. A lot of people are mocking him up to the Patriots. I would love to see him at that spot. John, you're going to kill me with the pronunciation of this. Dotson, the kid out of Penn State.
Yeah.
We both know that this is not going to happen. I don't know what Bill has against Penn State. He has never picked a Penn State player in the draft in his entire life. And he's another guy that I would love to see at this position at 22. I could see that happening. And of course, I've got my little whoopee here. And I'm going to keep on it. I would like to see him go in the second round with that's John Mechie out of Alabama.
Yeah.
He busted his knee up at the end of the season last year, so it would definitely be another Patriots type redshirt season. But he is an early day 2 talent. He would be a early day 1 talent if he hadn't done that. Drake London's another guy that a lot of people are talking about. No, I please stop. But Treylon Burks out of Arkansas, I would love to see him. He's a little bit quicker. There's some N'Keal Harry comparisons happening, and I'm not sure that's really fair. And of course, Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State, he's another guy that could come in here and fit and contribute right away.
Yeah, great stuff. I mean, I completely agree with most of you, most of what you said on that, especially with somebody like Burks, who, again, I mentioned this last week, a good friend of mine, my colleague at SI, Kevin Tame, gave a great case about Burks being a really good fit for this team, for the New England Patriots. Yeah, I'm aware of the Harry concerns. Olave is someone that just really intrigues me because of the route running. I mean, I just love guys that are able to come in here. It's one of the reasons why I was fawning all over Stephon Diggs a couple of years ago when the Patriots were trying to maybe swing a trade to bring him in as a free agent. One of the reasons why both Evan Lazar and myself were so in love with Justin Jefferson coming out of school. You just love the guys that can run these routes. And to me, I think Olave, his route running, if he's there, and I don't believe he will be at number 21, but if he's there, That to me is really, I think, a talent that's too good to pass up. He can work vertically, he can work across the middle. I love the fact that he can create separation. He can hit his target on a dime. So if Mac Jones, wants an accurate route runner where he can really show off his accurate passing skills, to me, this kid is the one to go with. So a lot of options, a lot of people are going to be on the table when it comes to the New England Patriots and their abilities for the combine coming up. It's going to be an interesting few days. I know we're going to get a lot of updates about St. Elmo's and the cocktail sauce out there. Murph, you and I both love it.
Right.
To me, that's one of the best things about this time of year is hearing all of the St. Elmo stories. And all of our good friends that are covering the combine down in Indianapolis are going to be doing that. But Murph and I remain right here in New England, bringing you the content the way only we can. And in just a moment, folks, Locked On Patriots becomes Musing the Draft Monday because, again, several people may mock the draft, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We muse the draft. We don't mock the draft here on Locked On Patriots. We muse it, we massage it, we bring it to you the way only we can. And we do have a mock draft to break down. One of our good friends, a great support of this podcast, Andrew Carraway, submitted the first one. Murph and I will break that all down for you when this hashtag Locked On Murph Monday episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast continues. Folks, football might be over for the season, but basketball is in full steam for both pro and college hoops. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired head coach is going to land, BetOnline.net is the #1 spot for all of your sports betting needs. BetOnline remains the best spot for all of your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. And it's not just basketball, folks. BetOnline.net is your source for hockey, boxing, UFC odds, right to the Olympic coverage and information. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and the action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Patriots fans, once again, we are coming at you live and in living color on YouTube across all Patriots platforms when it comes to where you consume your podcasts. Once again, thank you for making Locked On Patriots your first listen every day. Remember, Locked On Patriots, free and available on any platform. So stay locked into Locked On Patriots wherever you get your podcasts. Murph, in the previous segment, my friend, we talked a lot about the draft combine and who the Patriots might be looking at, who they might be targeting, who they're going to keep their sharp eye on in Indianapolis this week. But a lot of our listeners provide such amazing content, work really hard at developing the perfect mock draft for the New England Patriots. And while I'm a firm believer that the perfect mock draft may not exist, our good friend Andrew Carraway, at Carraway6 on Twitter, does a real phenomenal job with these, and I'm so glad that he is the first Locked On Patriots submission for Musing the Draft Monday here, because Murph and I love these. We really love to break them down, and you very well know that we love these, and Andrew loves to submit them too. So, Andrew, thank you for the great submission, and Murph and I went over these a little bit yesterday. 6 picks right now. The Patriots do have 6 in their arsenal, and Andrew made all of those. No trades, nothing like that that's going off the board just yet. But no surprise, in round 1, pick 21, wide receiver, Chris Olave. Yep. Murph and I have gushed a lot about Chris, so we're not going to go above and beyond to go ahead and to really make anything more said than what we've already have when it comes to Chris Olave. But his second pick at number 53, linebacker out of Wyoming, who really opened up a lot of eyes at the Senior Bowl, definitely opened mine, but he was a guy that I had my eye on even before that, and that's Chad Mumma.
Yeah.
Chad is a very versatile, very interesting prospect at the linebacker position. To me, this really was the pick of the draft to me that could either really make or break it. Murph, when you took a look at this, first of all, I know we'll get into our overall thoughts on Andrew's mock draft in just a moment, but what are your thoughts on his pick of Mumma here at linebacker at number 53?
I like it a lot. It was a little surprising. I'm not sure if Mumma is going to move up draft boards. Right now, I've got him ranked as my 7th best linebacker in this draft, but he a big physical man that loves to play downhill. His frame is amazing, 6'3", 240 pounds. He sees the field really well. Sorry, I'm peeking at notes here. On the downside, his lateral agility really needs work when he's out in coverage. His footwork is a bit iffy, but a fantastic guy with a pro body style. He really fits into what Bill Belichick views as a linebacker, where guys that we've talked about before are being called safeties. And but no, I like the pick. I like Mumma. He's a heat-seeking missile that the Patriots could definitely use right out of the gate.
Yeah, agreed. I think that, Muma is someone that I believe, again, much like Devin Lloyd, I think he's a better fit in a 4-3 setting, but he can
Yeah,
be an effective weapon in those 3-4 alignments that the Patriots love to utilize. And he's got adequate size for the position, 6'3", 242, I think is what he's listed
yep,
at. I like that. I think that's good size. He's a pretty good tackler. He's got a very good reputation of doing that at Wyoming. His pass defense skills are really what I think would catch
yeah,
the Patriots' sharp eye here. He's pretty good against the run. I think he can be adequate, but that's not his strong suit right now. He's someone that's going to, I think, grow into that role. But where I like Muma, and what I really saw, not so much in the Senior Bowl, but really I think you did see some of this in the Senior Bowl, is he secures the opposing quarterback's passing
right,
lanes. To me, this is something that if the Patriots are looking in this direction, to be able to utilize that type of skill, this is what's going to jump off the page to them. And because he's got a history as playing safety, he can really, I think, be very effective in man coverage. And that's something to me that I'm really looking forward to with this kid, wherever he happens to land in the NFL. I think he has the potential to be a 3-down player. And if the Patriots are looking for youth, they're looking for athleticism, and they're looking for versatility, Chad may be a very good option. So again, I think Andrew, right off the bat, going with Olave with the wide receiver pick to initiate this draft, and then of course going with someone like Muma at the linebacker position, definitely an intriguing option. The best of the rest in terms of his remaining 4 picks. Got Tyler Smith, the tackle out of Tulsa, going to the Patriots in the 3rd round at number 85. In the 4th round at number 123, safety Nick Cross coming out of Maryland. Cornerback finally selected by
yeah,
Andrew, 6th round, number 198, Jack Jones right now,
yep,
coming out of Arizona State, former Sun Devil there, coming over. Patriots have some, mixed issues when it comes to Arizona
yeah,
State. I know a lot of people are really kind of like shying away from that because of, N'Keal Harry, thank you.
right.
Sorry, folks, a little feedback there. We're still working out the kinks, but also in the 6th round as well, number 209, taking another halfback, my friend, Jerrion Ely coming out of Mississippi.
Yeah.
When you look at the best of the rest here, Murph, what jumps off the page as you as saying, "Oh, Andrew really nailed that one. This could be a really interesting pick for New England."
He really hit the ball out of the park with Tyler Smith, man. I love this kid. He is a complete mauler. He's probably somebody that's going to kick inside and play guard at the next level. But this man is everything that you would want in an interior lineman. I really like his game. And then I'm not trying to say Nick Cross is a fantastic one, but Jerron Ely, snagging him at 209. This is a kid, you know how much I love an Ole Miss guy.
Mm-hmm.
But this kid could finally, he didn't do a lot of pass catching out of the backfield when he was at Ole Miss up until his senior year. But I went back, and after I saw, this mock, I went and took a look at, I didn't see him drop a ball. I didn't see
No,
him drop a ball.
not at all.
So he's somebody that you could maybe slide in there if they bring White back this year and give this kid a redshirt season that Bill is so famous for, especially at the running back position. I think going forward, he is really going to help this team. But no, the one that stands out to me more than anything else is Tyler Smith. He's a fantastic young prospect. I think he can come in here and contribute right away in a rotation. And honestly, this was a fantastic draft. Nick Cross is a great pick. Jack Jones is a fine cornerback to grab at 198, and that's probably a little earlier than some people have him go, but I like the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree with you. I love the pick of Smith. I love the pick of Cross. And I like the versatility that Andrew shows in this
Yeah,
overall draft. I really do. Going after needs of the Patriots, not necessarily taking the names that are on
right.
everyone's draft board, not necessarily looking at the popular pick or saying, okay, best available at this position, this is the guy you have to go with. These are guys that are strategically picked because of what they can bring to the New England Patriots offense
Right.
and or defense, because he does have defensive players mixed in there. We're talking about Smith, so I'm thinking
Yep.
offense. But naturally, I think that this is a really, really good fit for most of these guys. And again, if you're looking at players that are going to be able to make an impact, especially in the later rounds, the Patriots do tend to redshirt these guys. I think
Yep.
Ely could be an interesting pick there at the running back position. They need someone that can really help and be able to catch out of the backfield if the Patriots decide they're going to bring back James White for one more tour of duty, considering how his 2021 season ended. I don't think there's anybody that would argue that point, but it's
No.
not a slam dunk. And if the Patriots want to get younger and more productive at that position, they're going to need someone that's going to be able to handle that. I can argue that the Patriots may prioritize and say that might be a round 2, round 3 type priority
Yeah.
for them. But at the same time, you also have to look at the needs on this team. And some of these positions are so deep. Wide receiver is very deep in this class.
Yep.
Linebackers and edge
Yep.
rushers are very deep in this class. Offensive linemen. So, there's a lot there that the Patriots have to address. I think them going a little bit beyond what they need to pick up a third down, pass catching back. Even though I've written in the past where I think that is a big need for them, the Patriots may prioritize that a little bit
Yep.
differently on that board. Last but certainly not least, but overall on this, we always give draft grades, and Andrew, I don't think you'll begrudge us for giving an overall draft grade. Submitted the first one, you probably get bonus points for that in my
Oh,
book,
sure.
but overall, from Chris Olave at number 21 to Jerron Ely at number 209, what is your overall grade for Andrew Carraway's draft,
Yeah.
his mock draft that he
This is
submitted
an
this week?
A. This is an A.
Mhm.
He filled every hole that the Patriots had. He got in there. He got in there and made sure that they were Patriots type players, especially later down in the draft. He did a great job with that. The only thing that kept us from being an A plus is there are no Georgia players. What? Andrew, I expect some Georgia love from everybody that comes here, but most of all from you.
I was a little surprised myself.
Yeah.
I'll be very honest with you that he didn't have a bulldog in there. But again, I think it speaks to how
It does.
seriously our listeners take this draft. And although he probably wanted to throw a guy in there, Andrew, you're a better guy than I am, because if I
Yeah.
were, let's say I'm drafting, let's say an NCAA, draft for the NBA this time around. Yeah, I'm going to throw a few Friars in there just because I
Yep.
want to see them up there on the board. I'm an alum. I want to see them do well. The Big East regular season champs, by the way, Murph. Just want to throw that in there.
Jesus Christ.
Just
Yeah.
just dropping that in there.
Enjoy.
But
Enjoy. I've got 11 of them. Go ahead. Enjoy.
hey, you know what? We've never been there before, so you know what? We're going to enjoy this a little bit, maybe more than we should. But I don't think you could begrudge us. All kidding aside, we know who the alpha dog still is in the Big East, but the PC's making a name for themselves. I'm just saying that. Congrats to Coach
Yep.
Cooley, because believe it or not, I've actually told that he does listen to this podcast, so I hope that he does. And wishing you the best this week in Madison Square Garden. But
I'm not.
yeah, well, we know you're not. We know that's good. This is the one area Murph and I usually agree on most things. This is the one area where we do disagree.
Right.
So if this does fester into something in the tournament, and especially this week, you might see a little bit of back and forth between Murph and I on this. But you know what? But it makes for good television, especially now
It does.
that we're live and visual.
I was going to
all
wear my
kidding
Yukon hat today, but Butchie walked out the house with it.
well, I almost wore the PC polo shirt, but
There you go.
so that's good. So you know what, we restrained ourselves, and I think overall we'll be better people for it. Getting back to Andrew's draft, which is really
Yeah.
what people want to hear. They don't want to hear our incessant bickering. I give Andrew an A on this as well. Again, the pick of Olave, getting him at number 21.
Right.
To me, if he's there, he's the guy I'm taking. one of my draft crushes now because of the way he runs the route. Mumma, I think we've made a good case for him. Tyler Smith was really what pushed me over the edge on this one. When I really looked at the type of a fit that this kid could be at the tackle position, and the Patriots are, they're looking at the tackle position, and they're always looking for offensive linemen. This is important, and this is something that I think the Patriots need. So once again, great. And when you can get guys like Nick Cross, and you can get guys like Ely in the latter part of this draft and the closing rounds, you're doing something right, and you've done your homework heading into this draft. So at Carraway6 on Twitter, definitely follow him, folks, because he knows what he's talking about. A great contributor here on Locked On Patriots, and we appreciate him being the first submission here on Musing the Draft Monday with my good buddy Murph on hashtag Locked On Murph Monday. But it's amazing. We've gotten to the end of our broadcast here today, the inaugural YouTube broadcast of Locked On Patriots. If you were able to look at me and keep anything down, it definitely is a miracle, folks. But the handsome man next to me right over here definitely brings not only the eye candy, but the wisdom and counsel the way only he can. And I appreciate you being here today, my friend. It's a new era for Locked On Patriots that I'm helping to usher in to this great show that has had so many great hosts that have come before me, whether it be Jeff Howe or Chris Cimino or the great Mark Schofield, who held these chairs with such honor. For me to be the inaugural YouTube broadcast is still something I'm getting used to, but I'll try to do the best I can to continue to bring you the content you know and love. In the meantime, folks, Murph's going nowhere. He is staying here each and every Monday. It's Mock Draft Monday. It's hashtag Locked On Murph Monday. It's the best day of the week as far as I'm concerned, and we always enjoy it. So thank you once again for your wisdom and counsel. Always honored, always humbled by your presence, Don Murph. Before I let you go today, bud, please let everyone know where they can find you, where they can interact with you, what you have coming up in the days and the weeks from the great pen and the great voice of the Count of Murphy Fisto himself, Thomas Murphy.
Well, I'm right in the middle of writing up something about Derek Jeter's quick exit from the Miami Marlins this morning. You can catch that over at e2gsports.com. Later today, of course, you can catch me, Steve, and Classy Claire Cooper every week on One Patriots Place. And Baseball and Bloody Marys will be coming back real soon, as soon as we have something to freaking talk about, man. God. Until then, follow me on Twitter at tmurph207 to keep updated on everything. Michael, thank you so much for having me back here every week. It really means the world to me. There have been some fantastic hosts on this fine network over the years, and you hold that up really well and as good as anybody could possibly imagine. Thank you, bud. I'll be back as long as you keep having me.
Oh, well, we'll keep having you, Don Murph, as long as you are willing to grace us with your presence. And thank you so much for the kind words. It really does mean a lot to me. Sharing the microphone with great people such as yourself and Steve and the classy one herself, the new lady of Locked On here on Wednesdays, Claire Cooper. It really is. It's just an amazing, embarrassment of riches for me to be able to talk football with you and be able to share it with everyone is something that is truly remarkable.
We all know how much Claire loves being on television.
And she will be on Wednesday.
Yep.
So, folks, in the meantime, please continue to stay safe, stay well, and please follow my good friend, the Conor Murphy Fisto himself, and on Twitter at TMurph207. The content that this man puts out is point, click, learn material each and every time. Follow him and the good folks at e2gsports.com for the great content that they provide. Baseball right now, hopefully getting back into the swing of things. See what I did there? But really, we really hope so, beyond belief, especially up here in New England. We need it. We crave it. We want it. We want our Sox back in Fenway, and we just want, everything to work out the way it should. But in the meantime, my friend, again, stay safe, stay well, honored and humbled, as always, by your presence, Don.
Thank you, sir.